at the historical Golden State Theater, 95 years. I remember here watching Francis the Talking Mule back in the late 50s or 60s. But anyway, I'm here with a special guest. Please welcome Ben Bransford. Ben, how are you?
Doing well, man. How are you?
Thanks a lot for inviting us over to this special, famous place here. Well, we're glad that we're getting this pandemic under control and that you're bringing back this great entertainment back to the Monterey Peninsula. So, Ben, where are you from?
I'm actually originally from Carmel, so local on the peninsula. Went to all throughout Carmel schools, so here was home for me. Traveled down to LA for a couple years for college and working a little bit, and then made my way back. But yeah, here's home, and it's pretty special to be able to work where I grew up.
One thing about Monterey, you go, but it's like a magnet.
It is, yeah. I mean, there's worse places to come back to.
It brings you back. So the Golden State Theater is 95 years old, and what have you got, 1,000 seats here?
Just over 1,000 seats. Yeah, I think it's a great number. Intimate, but not too small. You get some good acts coming through. It's a special spot.
I mean, you look around here. A lot of locals might be watching this show, this video, but if you haven't and you walk around, it's a magical place with all this beautiful workmanship and art. And this thing, it kind of gives you goosebumps when you walk in. And so, Ben, you're the promoter here.
Yeah, kind of the interim promoter. I came on once the previous owners were looking to get out of the concert game and kind of go on to new stuff, and agreed to help out kind of for what was going to be about a 2-year window, and obviously the pandemic hit, so that wiped out almost an entire year of that.
An entire year, yeah.
But yeah, I've kind of been bridging the gap between previous owners and then the new owners, which came on about 2 months ago. But yeah, it's been a special time to do it. It's been fun to bring it back after the pandemic. People have been excited about it.
Well, hats off to you and the owner, because you look at that marquee up there when you're driving down or riding your bike down Alvarado Street, you see comedy, you see rock and roll, you see folk music. You see legendary performers coming in, Hall of Famers, Judy Collins. I mean, and then you have holiday shows with some Irish dancing.
Yeah,
I mean,
you got it all.
You've got it all. I mean, that's really great. Yeah. So, Ben, you also involved in the Cowboy poetry? Is that?
Yeah, that was kind of that was an ever-evolving thing, but that was actually kind of my first entrance kind of into the live entertainment game, especially in Monterey. My roommate from college and I, who went through our degree together, we got an opportunity back in 2017 to take over what was then called the Monterey Cowboy Poetry Music Festival, and so we kind of took it over, and with our board made some changes on kind of what the mission direction and kind of the artistic direction of the festival was going to look like. So it's a little more contemporary now. It has different elements of kind of all different types of country western, whether it's bluegrass, folk, contemporary country, still the poetry and stuff like that. So we really kind of wanted to take it from what it was as a niche festival and kind of broaden the horizons a little bit. So
how many years has this been going on?
That is going to be going into almost its 27th year.
Wow, I can't believe it's
28th year.
Can't believe it's been that long.
Yeah. So, and they did so well for such a long time, and the people who are still involved with it are still heavily into it. But yeah, so and obviously that took a time out for the COVID year as well. So, it's a matter of getting everything back up and running.
Everything. I think that's going to be great.
Yeah.
We've got a local musician that has played in, I think, quite a few of those events. That's Mike Beck.
Oh yeah. I love Mike. He was actually the first artist we met after taking it over. He called us, and he was he's such a great guy.
Mike Beck is great. He's just a beautiful storyteller and music. It's just really great.
Yeah, he won a few awards this past show cycle.
He won some awards,
Yeah.
and I think if I read it right, one of his songs is in some kind of a top 5, top 10 or something.
And he was invited to Elko, Nevada, and I think it was he's in the Cowboy circuit. He's like one of the guys.
He's one of the guys, and I think he's living in Montana now, or training.
He does his Facebook Lives all the time.
Training
I've seen him
horses.
sometime.
He comes down here every now and then. But I have to give him credit during this pandemic when everybody was locked down. He would do a show every Sunday at 12 o'clock.
Yep.
And it was it was like clockwork. Every Sunday at 12, I would turn it on, and it was live from the bunker. He calls it. Yeah. So that festival is when? What time of the year?
We're actually still kind of trying to figure out. We're going to be looking forward to 2022. That's going to be our next festival. We actually had 2 concerts about a month or 2 ago, smaller concerts, but they were kind of one-offs at the fairgrounds. But as far as bringing back kind of the weekend festival, we're shooting for 2022 now. We're pretty confident it's going to happen. Like I said, with any nonprofit, with any entertainment, anything, it was a gamble to even start up again. So
I think it's going to be successful.
We're excited.
They come from all over California to go to that festival. Yeah, and I was looking at your bio, and you worked with athletes. What did you do?
I did. Well, I kind of hinted at that when I was living in LA. I wasn't working in music. I was working in the sports business. So I was working in a sports agency, kind of a full-service sports agency. So my side was dealing with like contracts, specifically like the statistical analysis behind an athlete's performance to then go and pitch to a team kind of what we think they're worth.
Kind of like an agent?
Yeah, so I worked for an agent, and so I would do kind of the grunt work, so to speak, of coming up with all the charting and stuff like that, and then we'd put our heads together and see what it all meant, and then he would go and do his thing. So I thought that was going to be kind of my career in life. I really enjoyed it. It was great.
Well, you were like, were you like interacting with the athletes too?
I was, yeah, to a certain degree. I mean, I spent a lot of my time in office stuff and a lot of different charts and stuff. That was kind of my world. But every once in a while we get the perks of going to the game and actually meeting them. They're not just names on paper, but you actually meet the people.
Can you say a couple of them or tell me?
Yeah. So I dealt with. Actually, at the time, so this is almost 4 or 5 years ago. But at the time they were rookies. Now they've made names for themselves. But currently, one of them was a pitcher for the New York Mets, Marcus Stroman.
Oh yeah, good.
One of them is a pitcher on the Giants right now, Kevin Gausman.
Wow.
A basketball player on the Clippers right now, Kawhi Leonard.
Oh man.
Wow. So we had our roster. Others it was a big agency, and we had a lot of really cool people. But that was a fun time. But it's strikingly similar to music. Like it seems like 2 completely different worlds, but they parallel each other a lot. So it was kind of a natural movement into.
Sorry about that. They call that technical difficulty. But so anyway, that's really great. And so what's happening at the? Well, you were saying it interacts with. You were working with the athletes, and also here at the Golden State, it kind of takes that talent to.
It does.
Even though it's different, it's kind of you seek it out.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean,
that's what you're doing. You seeking it out.
Yeah, exactly. No, talent. I mean, talent's talent, and especially when you're on the side of. I mean, really, what you're doing is you're betting on your shows.
Yeah.
Like you're betting on an athlete. You're betting on your shows. So every time we bring an artist in, we're betting on the fact that people are going to buy tickets to come see the show, right? And they make money. We make money.
Yeah.
The customer's happy. Like it's a win-win-win. So, there's a lot of. it's not like we just look at, you know, the top 25 charts and go, oh, this person sounds good. Like there's actually quite a bit of analysis
there's
that
a
goes
lot of
in
analysis,
to who's the right person to bring in and who's
to
not.
bring
Like
into this community.
we have artists all the time who are, you know, quote available, but we know for whatever reason that they're just not going to work here for a number of reasons. So there is kind of a statistical, but also like, you know, an analytical side to the concert business as well, which I find fascinating. That's my background.
That's great.
So that's why I said it was kind of a natural split from sports to music, because it's not just the artistic part's beautiful, and I think sometimes I get lost in the numbers and I get lost in kind of the business side. But for instance, we had a show this last weekend with a group called the Waylon Jennies, and I had personally never heard of them. I was unfamiliar with them, but I had looked at their charts. They sold really well. I thought this community would really do well with this folk type of music. So we pulled the trigger and brought them here. Great crowd, and I was sitting in the back, you know, for 10 minutes, just kind of trying to, and I was blown away. Like I had never heard of them. I just had known them on paper, and I sat back there, and the mastery of vocal.
They're just like the harmony.
Yeah, it was a 3-part harmony group with kind of strings and banjos and fiddles.
Wow, that sounds great.
But anyway, so it's both. It's the artistic side, but it's also the business side kind of coming together. And those are the things that make it worth it to me, is bringing in people that I'm unfamiliar with, and I became a fan that night, and I'm going to listen to their music. And,
you might get
bring them back, hopefully.
Bring them back, And you had the Beach Boys back.
Yeah, the Beach Boys. Yeah, it was. We had Chris Bodie, who's one of my favorite artists. I've seen him a number of times. We've had, like I said, the goal for this season cycle for 2021 was really to give kind of everyone a little bit of everything.
A little bit of everything.
Whether it was younger folks, older folks, legends, newer folks, comedy, folk, jazz, rock. Like we kind of tried to hit.
I'm going to be looking forward to Tower of Power.
Oh, that's
always a good show.
In fact, so funny thing on Tower of Power, that was my first show at this theater back when I was in middle school.
Oh yeah.
And Sal Cracchiola, who's a trumpet player in the section of Tower of Power, I think he's the second trumpet. He was my jazz teacher growing up.
Wow, great.
So I have a special spot for the Tower of Power. So being able to bring them in for 2021.
I like that big baritone bass.
Oh,
the
man,
doctor,
yeah.
that giant saxophone.
He's awesome. He's so cool. That group, I mean, them. So we have them and the Temptations kind of back to back. That's going to be a sweet duo.
So what do we've got coming up? Give me like a 4 or 5, maybe 3.
Well, I should have this memorized, but we've had so many reschedules and date changes.
Memorize everything.
I want to get it right.
Okay.
So let's see. We have Dimitri Martin, who's going to be coming up on October 16th, and he's a absolutely fantastic comedian, a younger guy coming up through the ranks of the comedy world. We have legendary songwriter Christopher Cross coming.
Oh yeah, that's a legend there.
Yeah, October 21st. Felipe Esparza, another comedian, October 23rd. If you guys like George Lopez or any of those types of comedians, he's right there. Country Sarah Evans, October 29th. Lewis Black, George Thorogood, The Temptations, Tower of Power. I mean, we got some.
Man, whatever you call variety, and then you also have a Christmas show.
We do, yeah.
Celtic dancers.
Yep. It's the river dance type.
Oh God, that's gonna be great.
Stuff, and they've been here before, and they're a holiday favorite.
Right over here on this stage.
Yep. No, they're a holiday favorite, and that's, I mean, talk about something to kick off the season right. That's a great. I've seen them twice here.
It's gonna be great. So
fantastic.
So it's kind of cool to drive down Alvarado and look, and you got like an old-fashioned marquee up there, which is really great.
Yeah, there's some in our lobby off to the right. We have a number of old photos of Alvarado Street, and you think our marquee is cool now. You had back in the day the big state, sign, and I think it'd be cool to bring that back. Have kind of that old downtown vibe.
Bring it back. Yeah. Now we got Mike Murata on the corner.
Yep. Now this really is kind of the crown jewel of Old Monterey.
I always recommend come down, go sit down with Mike Murata walk down the street. There's a wine tasting. I think it's Comanche across the street. Grab a glass of wine. Come on over and watch a show at the famous Golden State Theater. So Ben, I mean, this is really great that you invited us here and sharing this fabulous place with us.
Yes.
And we're looking forward to coming in. And I recommend everybody come down and watch a show because you will be very impressed. And how does somebody get a ticket? I mean, is it online?
Online, right? Yeah, everything's in the world of online. So yeah, goldenstatetheater.com. We have our ticket partner is Eventbrite, and you know our ticket fees are low. We sanitize every seat after our shows. We have I think a very good policy for people feeling safe in an indoor venue.
Yeah.
But yeah, goldenstatetheater.com, and I did want to say just thank you to everybody who has bought a ticket so far. I mean, every time you guys buy a ticket, yes, you want to come see these people, but you're supporting the theater, you're supporting us being able to stay in business.
Yes.
We were so fortunate to stay in business through COVID, but every time you guys buy a ticket, it is an investment in local artists and our local theater. So thank you for all those who do, and yeah, we're excited for the end of 2021.
Well, we're excited that you're here, bringing all this great music back to this great, the grand dame of theaters. So Ben, I appreciate you buzzing with Cousin today, and
thanks for having me.
Thank you so much.
Cool, man. Appreciate it.
Okay, everybody, we'll see you next week, and thanks for tuning in. And Golden State Theater. Bye.